So in this video, I want to talk about evil. I was just watching a video of Jordan Peterson talking with Dr. Oz about like serial killings and psychopaths and mass murderers and yada yada yada. And I was still Peppermint's drunk. She's got to go over there. But anyways, I was thinking the whole time of how my perception of evil evolved. And when you're really young, world's black and white. You listen to your parents, listen to authorities of that's bad. It's very simple. But obviously, as you grow, you complex, you perceive the nuance of reality. And for me, particularly as a writer, as a very imaginative person, I like to think of the character, the what like evil isn't like a hurricane isn't evil, a volcano isn't evil. Evil is a human thing. It's a anthropomorphic incursion, anthropomorphic. It's just this thing that humans are capable of. And back when I was still plotting vengeance against God, I was thinking, what is the most evil thing I could do? What is the most damage against the system I could do? How could I do the most with my life in order to get revenge? And I started with the idea, I could I could shoot up someplace, and what do I do there? I killed 10 people, 30 people. Ooh. And then you think of plotting some elaborate plan, and think of, well, that I can only do so much as myself. So what if I get other people? What if I create this organization of evil? And then you start thinking, well, how does that happen? How does that superstructure form? And you think, if you're evil, you're only going to get evil people, and it's going to stay relatively small. So, my insane mind goes off, how do I get the most people to switch over to pure evil, or just do evil things without realizing it? How do I become Hitler? And it's like, that's where I studied a lot of sociological effects, a lot of marketing, a lot of psychology of how did Hitler rise to power? How do people rise to power? And I came to the conclusion that the most good character and the most evil character, Jesus Christ and Satan himself, would be virtually indistinguishable until the very end. Because if you want to acquire the most power possible, you've got to convince good people, the majority of people, that you're good too, that you're trustworthy, that you have the ability to lead in a good direction. And then once you acquire this power, that's it, you nuke the Vatican. Very simple. but that idea evolved, and I have the idea of that's what pure evil is. It's this antichrist that rises to power and controls people, and that got boring really fast. It's really hollow. It's really one-sided. It just reverts back to that black and white thinking. It's a maxim that is uninteresting, at least to my mind, at least now. In the moment, it was very interesting. It was like an obsession. Oh, what vengeance does to the brain. But that has evolved because I have thought about what has intrigued me and what has fascinated me is in the this scenario, you have a very bad person, knowing they're bad, consciously being bad, or have the intention of being bad in the end game. And I started getting lost in the idea of, insanity. As I, experience, synchronicity slipstream, I experience it kind of myself, where, they disconnect from reality, and you think alternative logic that makes sense, but you'll go back and look at it, it's like, wow, that was completely insane. And I really got fascinated by that, and I reached, the conclusion I have now, that, like, not so much a conclusion, but the idea of evil, it can be like this character that doesn't know they're evil, that they're so insane, so lost in some bullshit logic or ideology, or that they have literally disconnected from reality and think that they're doing good despite the objective horrifying things they're doing. And it's like where my performance art, and I said this in a previous video, is a hyper real reality. It's a combination of real me and this insane character to create something in between. But like this hyper real character, not the far spectrum character. It's like it goes back to the idea of acquiring power, and it just, like, I don't know, I like, it's just interesting to me how it I don't know how to describe it in words so much. It's like I can feel it in music. Like, you get like these devastating crescendos in music. Like, you got the music you take over the world with. Like, you put the soundtrack on and that's it. You're off to take over the world. Like, that feeling of, yes, it's finally happening. Yes, like that enthusiastic, ecstatic madness of having this plan and being so caught up into it, it's being so far up your own ass that you lose sight of reality. It, like, that's interesting. Like, I keep saying that it's interesting, it's fascinating. It is. It's what I'm exploring with the story. It's that hyper real lens where I'm writing it so that I come off as indistinguishable between an anti-hero and a villain, right? Like, it's you will see what you want to see. And I, like, there's a lot of different things where I'm writing this for this audience, I'm writing this for this audience, and it's like I'm up my own ass right now. I'm let's break down what is interesting. Why is it fascinating? Why do we have these attractions to the Thanatos? Why do so many people have an interest in serial killers? Or, we got true crime, we got, mine hunters, we got, like, all these different shows that cater to this audience. And it's, part of that is, you're walking with your tribe, your fellow hunters in a tribal nomadic sense. But back when we were hunter nomads, hunter gatherers, and it's what's going to keep you alive more. Talking about the saber-tooth tiger that might be stalking you, or the cloud formations, how pretty they are. Like there's certain things that have been bred into like the human consciousness, and there's like psychology is itself very attractive. Like because we if you're if you're someone that likes or exploring the realm of serial killers or the psychology behind it or what have you, there's something you're always going to be seeing a part of yourself. I notice this in myself when I'm, back in the heyday when I was, studying every serial killer. It's like, okay, I see these parts of myself. I see these parts of myself. Yes, this happened to me. It just, I guess studying it makes you better able to control it, either in yourself or other people. It gives you a defense against this sort of incursion in your life or this sort of evil in the world. And it just, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't even know why I make videos other than God tells me and it's good for me. And I get to explore my ideals. I don't know how to end the video.